Chaos has officially erupted in the celebrity world, and this one is tearing through hearts and headlines alike. The drama started when whispers emerged about Cardi B's private DMs with Stefon Diggs supposedly getting exposed, and what happened next shocked absolutely everyone. Sources close to the couple say Offset completely lost it, storming out of public appearances, leaving entourages stunned, and throwing the entire scene into total pandemonium. The tension between him and Cardi B reportedly hit a boiling point, with close friends describing arguments so heated that they could be heard from the next street over. But that's not all. Insiders hint that this isn't just about a leak. There are layers of secrets, jealousies, and betrayals bubbling just beneath the surface, and suddenly everyone around them is walking on eggshells. One source whispered, "It's like the calm before a storm, and nobody knows which side will come out on top." Even Stefon Diggs, who wasn't expecting any of this, is now caught in a whirlwind he never signed up for. Every move is under a microscope, tempers are flaring, and hearts are breaking. The tension is so thick, you can practically feel it, and the fallout is far from over. The moment Offset stormed out, the room went silent. Staff and onlookers froze, unsure if they should intervene or give him space. "I can't do this right now," he was heard muttering under his breath, his face a mix of anger and hurt. The couple had been seen just days before appearing perfectly fine at a high-profile event, laughing and holding hands. But insiders now reveal that what we saw was just a facade. Behind closed doors, the air had been thick with unresolved tension for weeks, and this latest leak was a spark that ignited everything. According to sources close to the situation, the DMs reportedly contained messages that were intended to be private, but somehow made their way into public view. Cardi B, usually outspoken and fearless, was reportedly blindsided. She was furious. A close friend said, "Cardi doesn't just let things slide, especially when it comes to her family and her personal life. You could see it in her eyes. This wasn't just embarrassment. It was betrayal." What makes the scenario even more intense is that the messages weren't just casual flirtation. They allegedly hinted at deeper emotional connections that Offset had been oblivious to. Meanwhile, the people around them were struggling to keep everything under control. Friends tried to mediate, but even they admitted that emotions ran too high. One unnamed source said, "It was like walking through a minefield. Every comment, every glance, every word could set something off. The energy was electric, almost dangerous." And while most of the public was left guessing, those in the inner circle described the atmosphere as almost apocalyptic. There were whispered accusations, tearful confrontations, and moments when it seemed like the entire situation could spiral out of control at any second. What makes this mess even juicier is Stefon Diggs' involvement. People close to him insist that he never asked to be dragged into the drama, but now every move he makes is being scrutinized. He's just trying to live his life, a source said, but suddenly is part of the celebrity hurricane and is stuck in the middle. Reports suggest that conversations between Cardi and Stefon were entirely private, yet once leaks surfaced, their meaning became distorted in ways no one could have predicted. Rumors about alliances, backstories, and past misunderstandings began to surface, adding fuel to an already explosive situation. Even Offset's inner circle is reportedly split. Some friends are urging him to step back, take a breath, and address the situation calmly. Others are feeding his anger, reminding him of old grievances and pushing him toward confrontation. "It's like the calm before a storm," one insider said. "You don't know if people will come together or completely tear each other apart. The tension is unbearable, and it's only getting worse." Social gatherings have become tense affairs, with everyone anticipating the next outburst, the next revelation, or the next betrayal. And just when it seemed things couldn't get more dramatic, another layer of rumors emerged. Allegedly, other figures close to the situation are quietly taking sides, sharing their own versions of events, and strategically leaking details to stir public interest. This isn't just a private fight anymore. It's a full-blown celebrity saga, with emotions, loyalty, and reputation hanging by a thread. The question now is, how will Cardi B and Offset navigate this? Can they repair the cracks exposed by this scandal, or will this mark a turning point in their relationship? One thing is certain, no one in their circle, and certainly no one watching, will be able to look away as the tension continues to mount, secrets continue to unravel, and every interaction carries the weight of this explosive leak. As the dust began to settle from Offset's explosive exit, the tension didn't just linger, it intensified. Sources reveal that Cardi B retreated to a private space, pacing back and forth, her phone clutched tightly in her hand. She was fuming, a close insider said. This wasn't just about the leak. It was about trust, betrayal, and the realization that people around her might not be as loyal as she thought. Friends report that she was rereading messages, trying to piece together what actually leaked versus what was being exaggerated. Every notification on her phone set her heart racing, making it almost impossible to focus on anything else. Meanwhile, Offset's mood reportedly swung between fiery anger and deep hurt. One source revealed that he spent hours in his car, alone, replaying every private conversation and trying to understand how the leak happened. He's not the type to stay quiet when he's upset, the insider said. You could feel the weight of the betrayal on him. Every text, every glance, every comment he so felt like salt on a wound that'd been forming for months. Those closest to him were worried, describing the scene as emotionally charged to the breaking point. Complicating matters even further, whispers started circulating about the dynamics between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. Although insiders stressed that Stefon never intended for any of this drama, his name became a magnet for gossip. Some suggested that his involvement, however minor, was being blown out of proportion to create more headlines. It's like a domino effect, said one source. Once the DMs leaked, suddenly everyone had an opinion, and nobody was safe from speculation. What started as private conversations quickly turned into public debates, with each rumor fueling the fire and intensifying the emotional stake for everyone involved. The family circle, which had previously acted as a buffer, now appeared divided. Close friends of Cardi B reportedly tried to mediate, urging calm and understanding, while others seemed to subtly push for confrontation. It was like watching chess pieces in motion, one insider explained. Everyone was making moves, some openly, some behind the scenes, and the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. With every passing hour, tempers flared, accusations flew, and the uncertainty of the situation created a palpable sense of anxiety throughout their inner circle. In a surprising twist, even former allies started taking sides. Some suggested that past grievances resurfaced, old arguments were resurrected, and underlying insecurities bubbled to the surface. It's one thing to have a disagreement, a source said, but it's another thing when emotions from the past mix with present chaos. The effect is explosive. Meanwhile, parties and gatherings that once seemed harmless became tense arenas where whispers and stolen glances carried more weight than any conversation. And just when everyone thought the storm couldn't get worse, the first rumors about a potential public statement from Cardi B began to circulate. While she remained private and cautious, the idea that she might address the situation officially sent shockwaves through her circle. Could this calm the storm, or would it pour gasoline onto the fire that was already raging? Those in the know hinted that the next few days would be critical, with emotions running at an all-time high and every decision carrying consequences that could shape relationships and reputation for years. With secrets slowly surfacing, tempers flaring, and every move scrutinized, the drama was far from over. The explosive leak of Cardi B's DMs was no longer a private issue. It had evolved into a full-blown saga where every glance, word, and reaction had potential to trigger another scandal. And in this high-stakes game of trust, betrayal, and raw emotion, nobody was safe. Just when it seemed the situation couldn't spiral any further, insiders revealed an entirely new layer of chaos. Apparently, Cardi B's team had been quietly trying to contain the damage, but conflicting information kept surfacing, making it almost impossible to maintain control. One source explained, every time someone thought they had a handle on the situation, another detail would leak or another person would get involved. It was like watching a wildfire spread, unpredictable, fast, and completely consuming. Friends close to Cardi reportedly begged her to stay calm, but according to reports, she was pacing, making calls, and even sending messages in the middle of the night, trying to navigate the storm before it got worse. Offset, meanwhile, was not backing down. Those around him claimed that he demanded explanations from everyone in the room, pressing for the truth behind every leaked message. He was furious, but it wasn't just anger, it was hurt, an insider said. You could see it in the way he looked at Cardi, like he was trying to understand how something so personal could end up exposed. Their private conversations, once thought to be off-limits, suddenly became the focal point of whispered speculation, and the tension between them reportedly reached levels that even their closest allies hadn't witnessed before. To make matters even more dramatic, Stefon Diggs found himself pulled into the middle of the feud in ways he never anticipated. While he had tried to remain neutral, sources reveal that misinterpretations of his messages caused both Cardi and Offset to question his intentions. He didn't ask to be part of this, one insider said, but now he's in the middle, and every small interaction is being blown up into something massive. It's not fair, but that's the reality of being linked to high-profile drama. Even casual remarks or innocent clarifications reportedly caused tempers to flare, further escalating the situation. Rumors began to circulate that this wasn't merely about the DMs themselves, but about underlying tensions that had been simmering for months. Close friends hinted that trust issues, past insecurities, and unspoken grievances were finally boiling over. The leaks were just a tipping point. An insider said, "There's history here, old arguments, old pain, and old betrayal that nobody expected would resurface now." Every interaction became a delicate balancing act, and any misstep threatened to ignite another confrontation. Meanwhile, whispers emerged that some members of their inner circle might have had a hand in stirring the pot. "It's like a game of alliances," one source explained. "People are taking sides, intentionally or not, and it's causing rifts that could be permanent. What started as a private matter is now affecting friendships, business relationships, and even family ties." Close observers noted moments of tension during group gatherings, with hushed conversations, pointed glances, and subtle gestures that spoke volumes. As the saga unfolded, those closest to the couple reportedly feared that a public blow-up could be imminent. "Everyone is on edge," a source said. "One wrong word, one misstep, and this could become a full-blown headline nightmare. It's like walking through a room filled with broken glass. You never know what's going to cut you next." Even casual interactions with staff or friends became charged with suspicion, and the energy around them was reportedly unbearable. The leak of Cardi B's private messages had transformed from a simple scandal into a multi-layered storm of emotions, alliances, and unpredictable reactions. Everyone involved, Cardi, Offset, Stefon, and even those watching from the sidelines, was now caught in a complex web of uncertainty, with the stakes higher than ever. And as whispers of new revelations began circulating, insiders warned that the next move could completely change the game. By now, the atmosphere around Cardi B and Offset had become almost unrecognizable. Close sources say that even their inner circle was on edge, unsure who to trust or what to believe. Every message, glance, and rumor seemed amplified, and tempers were reportedly reaching a breaking point. "It felt like living in a pressure cooker," one insider said. Every word could explode, and nobody knew which side would come out on top. Friends described moments where Cardi and Offset would sit in silence for hours, the tension between them palpable, as if every unsaid thought was threatening to ignite a full-blown argument. Then came the twist that nobody anticipated. Sources claim that during a late-night confrontation, Offset demanded a private explanation from Cardi B, insisting that he needed clarity on the nature of her communications with Stefon Diggs. According to an insider, Cardi reportedly replied, "You know everything isn't what it seems, but some truths are hard to explain." The words, vague yet loaded with emotion, reportedly left Offset even more unsettled. The scene was described as a mix of heartbreak, fury, and disbelief, all colliding in one charged moment that insiders say could have been pulled straight from a reality TV script. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs was reportedly trying to navigate the chaos as carefully as possible, but with every leaked detail and whispered accusation, his own relationships were being scrutinized. "He's caught in the middle, and it's unfair," one source explained. "But people are reading into every interaction, twisting things in ways that only fuel the fire. It's like watching someone being blamed for a storm they didn't create." Even casual public appearances reportedly became tense, with body language and minor comments sparking further speculation. To complicate matters further, whispers began circulating that members of Cardi B's and Offset's entourage were secretly sharing selective details with the press and social media accounts, intentionally or not. "It's hard to know what's real and what's been exaggerated at this point," one insider said. "Every snippet, every rumor, seems designed to provoke a reaction, and the emotions are running so high that even small sparks could set everything ablaze." Those closest to the couple reportedly spent hours trying to mediate, but the damage had already escalated beyond what anyone could control. As the drama unfolded, some of the oldest tensions resurfaced, revealing cracks in the relationships that had been thought unshakable. Friends described moments where accusations flew, tears were shed, and trust seemed almost impossible to rebuild. Even those who had tried to stay neutral reportedly found themselves being pulled into the whirlwind, forced to pick sides or risk being caught in the crossfire. "It's relentless," one source admitted. "Nothing feels safe, and nobody knows what will happen next." Despite all this chaos, insiders hint that a potential reconciliation might still be on the table, but only if both Cardi and Offset can navigate the minefield of hurt, jealousy, and betrayal. "It's not over yet," one friend said. "There's still hope, but the next steps will define everything. One wrong move, and the fallout could be catastrophic." As whispers of new revelations, confrontations, and private conversations continue to surface, the stakes couldn't be higher. The leak of Cardi B's private messages has transformed from a shocking scandal into an ongoing saga of trust, loyalty, and raw emotion. Every move is being watched, every word dissected, and the tension remains so thick that insiders say it's almost unbearable. One thing is certain: this story isn't slowing down anytime soon, and the next revelation could completely rewrite what everyone thinks they know. So, what does all of this mean for Cardi B and Offset? One thing is crystal clear: the leak of those private messages has sent shockwaves that won't disappear anytime soon. The tension, the secrets, and the unanswered questions have left everyone around them walking on eggshells. From explosive arguments to whispered accusations, this saga has everything: heartbreak, betrayal, and shocking twists that keep escalating by the hour. And while some insiders hint at a possible reconciliation, the truth is, nobody really knows what's coming next. Every move, every statement, and every glance could ignite another round of chaos. Now, it's time to hear from you. What do you think really happened behind closed doors? Was this just a simple misunderstanding blown out of proportion, or is there something deeper that nobody is telling us? Could Offset and Cardi B find a way to rebuild trust, or is this scandal setting the stage for something much bigger? Share your theories, your reactions, and even your predictions in the comments below. We want to hear every opinion because this story is far from over, and every perspective matters. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single update on this ongoing celebrity drama. Turn on notifications because new revelations, insider scoops, and shocking reactions are dropping constantly, and you'll want to be the first to know. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more stories like this, packed with suspense, celebrity drama, and shocking twists, smash that like button to show your support. Trust us, the next chapter is already brewing, and you won't want to miss it. The drama has just begun, and it's only going to get wilder from here. Stay tuned, because we're keeping a close eye on every move, every text, and every explosive reaction in this high-stakes saga.